Imagine saving up your allowance for months, finally getting your hands on the latest PC games in the 90s, only to have them stolen by some smug new kid at school. Well, when this happened to me, I didn't just get even. I destroyed his reputation at home in a way that left his ultra-religious parents furious and left him grounded for weeks. This is the story of my sweetest revenge. If you've ever been betrayed by someone who thought they could take advantage of you, you're going to love this story. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's dive into a revenge tale that could only have happened in the 90s, when floppy disks, inkjet printers, and a little creativity could change someone's life. Back in the 90s, being a gamer wasn't like it is today. No Steam, no instant downloads, no easy access to games. If you wanted the latest titles, you had to work for them. My best friend and I would scrape together money, order games from abroad by airmail, and wait weeks just to get one copy of something like Doom 2 or The Settlers. These games weren't cheap, and for teenagers, every floppy disk felt like treasure. We'd trade with each other, carefully copying even the tricky copy protection files so we could both enjoy them. It was our little gaming lifeline, a fragile system built on trust and effort. Then came this new kid. He swaggered into class with a smug grin, and more importantly, an uncle who supposedly had a massive library of games we didn't. To us, this was like meeting a kid who had a golden ticket to Willy Wonka's factory. Naturally, we tried to befriend him. We offered trades, real games for him to copy, expecting fair trades in return. But what did we get back? Corrupted floppy disks, missing copy protection files, games that wouldn't even boot up. Weeks turned into months, and still not a single working game came back to us. Meanwhile, he had our prized originals, Monkey Island, Doom 2, The Settlers, and some came back scuffed and damaged. It became clear he was scamming us, draining our collection while feeding us junk. And to make it worse, he mocked me constantly for being a Queen fan. Freddie Mercury had just passed a few years earlier, and in the 90s, the AIDS crisis was everywhere in the media. This kid thought it was hilarious to sneer at me for liking a gay singer. He came from a conservative Catholic household, and he made sure we all knew just how sinful he thought it was. So not only was he a thief, he was a homophobic jerk, and I had had enough. One day, our whole class attended an AIDS awareness event. They handed out educational flyers and, yes, condoms, each stamped with the foundation's logo. Most kids snickered, shoved them in their bags, or tossed them away. But my best friend and I, we pocketed a handful. Why? Because at that moment, an idea sparked. An idea so devious, so perfectly suited to our friend, that we knew we had to pull it off. You see, we were two of the only kids in school with access to a computer and an inkjet printer. And in the 90s, that was like having Photoshop and a publishing house at your fingertips. With some creativity, we could make anything look official. So here's what we did. We mocked up a fake letter from the AIDS Foundation itself. Using their logo, their fonts, everything, we crafted it carefully. The letter began, "Dear Daniel, thank you for your letter. We understand it's difficult being open about being homosexual, and you have many questions after the event you attended with your class. Please find enclosed a flyer which should answer many of your questions, as well as some condoms. Please practice safe sex at all times. We slid the actual flyers from the event into the envelope. We added the condoms too, each one proudly stamped with the foundation's logo. And the final touch? We addressed it not to him directly, but to Mr. Last Name, because we knew in that household, Dad always opened the mail first. We mailed it, and then we waited. Days later, the chaos began. Word spread fast. His mother had been in tears, screaming. His father? Absolutely furious. They were convinced their son was secretly gay and had reached out to an AIDS foundation for help. He was grounded for weeks, forced to stay home under constant suspicion. Meanwhile, at school, his confident, smug exterior had cracked. He looked paranoid, jittery, cornered, and every time he saw me or my friend, we'd casually ask, "Hey, so how's home life these days?" Just to see him squirm. He eventually pieced together that we might have had something to do with it. At first, he thought we had really written to the foundation on his behalf. When we finally admitted the truth, that we'd faked the whole thing, his rage boiled over. Of course, the prank didn't stay hidden forever. He dragged us into the principal's office, parents and all. We had to sit there sweating while his furious mom and dad demanded answers. The principal asked us why we would do something so cruel. And honestly, we told the truth. We explained how he had stolen from us, scammed us, mocked us relentlessly, and that we just wanted payback. Did we get in trouble? Oh, absolutely. Detention, lectures, and a permanent mark on our school reputation. But you know what? Even sitting there in that office, listening to him whine and protest, watching his parents glare at him with lingering suspicion, it still felt worth it. Because for once, he was the one powerless. He was the one suffering consequences. Potet. To this day, nearly 30 years later, I still count that as my greatest revenge. The games he stole, gone. The money I spent never came back. But the memory of seeing him completely unravel, of knowing that for once his smugness couldn't save him, that's priceless. Sometimes, the sweetest victories aren't about getting even in material things. They're about tipping the scales of justice even for just a moment and showing someone that their cruelty won't go unanswered. Looking back, maybe it was immature, maybe it was harsh. But when you're a teenager who's been betrayed, disrespected, and mocked, revenge can feel like the only justice you'll ever get. And honestly, in this case, it was delicious. So what do you think? Was this revenge justified, or did I take it too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your best revenge stories too. And if you enjoyed this tale of 90s payback, smash that like button, subscribe, and stick around. There are plenty more stories where this one came from.